Well, when you get a message like this, there's only one thing you can do. It's to go home.
It's crazy to think that 12 months ago, we were out in the Adirondacks Mountain and we had no idea what the world would become. Being ready for the adventure took a whole new meaning this year for us. It meant that we had to be ready to go as soon as restrictions would be lifted so we could enjoy quiet parks before they would be filled with thousands of newcomers. And probably the thing I have valued the most this year is to be able to do it with this guy. You see, I'm a strong believer that exploring the backcountry is best when it's shared. When you can count on someone that will be there and share the load with you when you need it the most. And most importantly, that will share with you the moments of glory and the simple moments of bliss. But for the first time, the person that needed me on this adventure wasn't here with us.
Well, when you get a message like this, there's only one thing you can do. It's to go home.
When I purchased this little guy here, I always thought that, at some point, it would be the reason why I make it home. These two-way messaging satellite systems are phenomenal, and a lot of times when you're deep in the backcountry, your only salvation when you're in an emergency situation. But I never thought that this device would work the other way around, where instead of saving me, it would be there so that I can go home and assist with my family. On our second day out, I received a message from my dad that said, Nat, my wife, had to go into the hospital. And at that point in time, the only thing I wanted to do was to go home. My wife's been dealing with some serious stomach issues for the past few years. And that morning when I was out, she had a major flare of inflammation, and she's never experienced such pain. And the pain was so great that she thought that she was gonna pass out. So she got Charlotte to call my parents, and she called the ambulance so she could be transported to the hospital. And that's when my dad got in touch with me. Luckily though, by the time I came back home about 5 hours later, because that's how long it took me to pack, hike out, drive home, Nat was already back at home, and the entire thing was behind her. The pain has subsided, the inflammation had gone away. She was still a little swollen in the stomach, and it was just one of those really weird one-off thing that happened and nobody could really explain it. But she felt really bad that I had to cut my trip short. But for me, I was so happy that I was reachable because one of these things, so I could come home to help. It might not always be possible or easy to come back home in other situations based on how far I am from home or how deep I am in the backcountry. But being ready for the adventure because of this little device here, man, it took a whole new meaning again. Peace.